Welcome back to the Sawmill, friends. It's Friday. It's supposed to rain today for the better part of the day, but I got stuff to do, so I can't worry about the rain. First thing on the list is going over here to Virginia, filling up the diesel tank because I am empty on diesel. And if you're new to this channel, this is my 100-gallon transfer tank I use for diesel. It's made by John Dow. I think this is made in Italy. I bought it on Amazon. It was about $1,100. It's expensive, but it's pretty nice because it's got forks for pallets underneath there, or let me say that better, it's got recesses down there for your pallet forks to go into. That sounds a lot better. And underneath the top, it has an internal pump and filter and all the good stuff. I need to wash this dirty truck.
Tongue was hanging out. Got a rabbit and a frog, she said. You want them fried up? I never ate no frog, Roscoe said. Who eats frogs? You just...
All right, friends, for those of you interested, this is the inner workings of this tank. It's pretty nice. It's got the hose built in and the pump. The only thing you need is a lawnmower battery and you're good to go. It's also got a fuel gauge right there. And I'm not sure what I said earlier. I think I said it holds 100 gallons. This actually holds 110. Had looked at the owner's manual, so I made sure I told you guys right. I got mine on Amazon, and if you're interested, I'll leave a link down below in the video description. It's an expensive tank, but it works really well, and when it's empty, it weighs practically nothing, so you can move it around. And also, friends, check this out. I was able to get the excavator in here under shelter right beside the sawmill, so now it's out of the weather when I'm not using it. It's pretty tight right there. Whenever we saw, I'll just back it out of the way and then pull it back in. And this is just temporary until we get the equipment shed built this summer. Then that's where that will be parked all the time. But for now, it's better than leaving it outside. All right, guys. So we finally got some diesel for the machines. I got 100 gallons, but I need probably triple that. Still not sure if I need to buy another tank or not. And somebody in the last video said, do you not have a service where they come out and fill up your tanks? Well, we do have that around here, but they're really unreliable. If you call them and say you want some diesel, it may be 2 hours or it may be 2 months. It's hard to tell with those guys. They really don't get in a hurry unless they're in your area. And I hate relying on somebody like that for fuel because who knows when they'll show up. So I may get another 100-gallon tank. So this right here is yellow pine, friends. We got about 5 of them. Came from 2 different trees at a residential lot. One of them is pretty low grade, got a lot of knots on it, but the other 4 aren't too bad. So this is probably maybe 300 board feet, something like that. It's 8-footers. That's the low grade one right there with the large knots, but these other 3 aren't too bad. I was really happy to find these because yellow pine does not grow in my area very much. We got some white pine, but not a lot of yellow pine. So on today's adventure, we're going to probably cut down a tree. I got a pear tree in the backyard that needs to come down. The first thing I need to do is run over to Virginia and get some cattle panels for the garden and all my plants. You guys hang in there. So we're supposed to have some good weather today, but starting tomorrow, it looks like we got rain on the forecast for the next 3 days, so it'll be a good time to get everything in the ground. And I also just heard from Cotto this morning, and it looks like that coupler is finished for the brush cutter that goes on the excavator. So I think they're gonna run that down there, my goodness. They're gonna run that down here, hopefully by the end of the week. When it dries up a little, we can get that excavator over to the new property and start doing some cleanup. I cannot wait to get that brush cutter installed on the excavator and start clearing off some land. And in addition to that, I've got several large black walnut logs to saw up for 9/4 slabs. I probably got 10 of those. I need to get those on the sticks sooner than later. They need to be sawed up hopefully by the 1st of June. Got a lot going on, guys. It's gonna be a fun summer here at the mill.
Mud on the saddle, encrusted in its mane, was waiting for them on the north bank of the Arkansas. Several times as they were bringing the cattle to the crossing, the horse started.
Well, sometimes this happens, these PTO shafts, they get locked together and you can't move them. I'm not sure why that happens. I just used this one the other day and I could adjust it just fine. But for some reason, it decided that today was the day it was gonna give me a hard time. Before I put these back together, I'll spray some blue creeper on it. Hopefully that will keep it from seizing up. What do you guys out there do for these whenever they start doing that? This has happened to me probably 3 times in the past year. I'm not sure why. I was gonna put some blue creeper on that, but apparently it looks like I'm out of it. So we're gonna use some of this fancy AMSOIL metal protector. It's supposed to lubricate, free up rusty parts, and protect against corrosion, and also displaces moisture. I think moisture may cause that, but I could be totally wrong. Never used this before, not sponsored, but I do like AMSOIL stuff. I buy a lot of their products. Let's see how it works. This is the same PTO shaft that I use for the wood chipper, and I like to have never got this off the wood chipper a few minutes ago. I gave up and cut the camera off and went and had a cup of coffee and sat there and just pondered over it for a while. I don't know what the problem was. All right, guys, it's the next day, and I got the garden finished up late last night. I was able to get this Premier One fence put around it to keep the chickens out of it, and it could use some work. These little posts right here are not that stout, but it's serving its purpose. I got the chickens out here right now, and they're not offered to come near it or fly over it, so that's a win right there. But the garden looks pretty good. Mostly tomatoes, some peppers. I've got a row of beans sowed right there. Then the other side is corn, some cantaloupe, and some watermelons. And I need to go get one more 16-foot cattle panel to put right there toward the middle for the cucumbers. And this is a lot smaller of a garden that I've done in the past, but it's plenty big enough for me to keep up with. I think in years past, I used to put out about 100 tomato plants, but I think I put out 20 this time. That should be more than enough. That should be plenty for us, although we do canned tomatoes. So guys, I know this wasn't the most exciting video I've ever made, but I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one. And for you guys that's hanging out to the end of this video, let me give you a sneak peek at what's coming up next. There we go, friends. In the next video, which I'm filming today, we're going to finally start using the new brush cutter for the excavator. I got this hooked up yesterday. My buddy Mike come over and helped me out. I did a test run last night that works really good, so I'm going to take it down to the creek this morning. So I think on the first run with this attachment, I'll take it down to the creek bank and do both sides just so I can get used to how it works and the tilt angle that you have to use to mow with it. And that's coming up in the next video. So once again, friends, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you soon.